Now we're recording. All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Arthur with Innovative Journaling. And let me just pull these off, because if I don't, I get an echo. What we're going to be doing in this session is I'm going to teach you how to make 3 different size journals. Or I'm going to teach you how to pattern out the covers for them. So, and then throughout this whole 6 weeks, we're going to make these. So here's one, the first one, a single section, a 2-section, and a 3-section or a 3-section journal. This one is in different materials, and we're going to talk about materials. And then a 4-section journal, and basically 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, any size journal you want, we're going to show you how to make. And even here's a 6-section journal. This has got a buckle on it for closure. We could do that as an extra lesson if you all wanted. But anyway, so that's what we're going to do. And so right now, all you need is a pencil, some paper, and I'm going to show you the formulas. I've simplified them down from when I first taught them, and that's it. So let's get started here, and we will see you after this. Okay, here we are. So what we're going to do is, here are the templates for our 3 journals: a single section, a 2-section, and a 3-section journal right there. And we're going to make these out of one size, but I'm going to you'll be able to apply this method to any size you want, because I'm going to give you the formulas for that, which are very, very simple. If you know, all you have to do is know what half an inch is. And if you know what half an inch is, you're golden. That's the only number you need to know. So we're going to make a journal based on a 5.5 by 8.5 inch size. And why that size? Because it's half the sheet of a notebook paper. So you fold this in half, get a regular piece of copy paper, and it's 5.5 by 8.5, and that's simple. That makes it's simple. So we're going to go through how to calculate the height and the width of your journal. Now you can see here that these 3 have different they're different widths, but they're all the same height. So let's do the height first, and I'm going to draw some pictures on here for you. So let's go back up a little bit, right there, and we're going to start with the and at any point in time, you know, get ready to take screenshots on here from the drawing I'm going to be doing. Okay, so first we'll start up here. I'll go right here, and I'm going to draw our cover. So our cover is going to be like this, right? Any size cover. And I'm going to draw. This is going to be for a single section journal, so I'm just going to draw a line down the center. Okay, and that's where we're going to put our stitch holes. Now we're not going to figure out how to mark the holes or what kind of stitch we're going to do at this point. We're just going to figure out the cover size. So whatever size you choose, and in this case it's 5.5 by 8.5. Let's move this in a little farther here. There we go. All right, there, that's good. Whatever size journal you choose, to figure out the height, you're going to take the height of your piece of paper, which in this case is 8.5 inches, and you're going to add 1/2 inch to it. So the height is equal to the height of your template is equal to the height of your paper. So this is the paper height. Paper height plus 1/2 inch. And that's going to be standard for any book you make. And what that does is it leaves you about 1/4 of an inch on the top and 1/4 of an inch on the bottom as a little ring around your book, so the pages aren't flat against the edge of the cover or sticking out. So that's the first thing we figure out. The height of the cover is going to be your paper height plus 1/2 inch, and that's it. So the next thing we're going to figure out is how wide to make it. So on a single section journal, it's really easy. All you've got is one center point there. So you're going to take your 5.5 inch wide sheet, because remember, we're taking a notebook size paper and folding it in half. So it's 5.5 by 8.5, and we're you're going to take that and add. See here, I have drawn the lines. The holes there are already done. You're going to take that and on the center point, or where the holes are, you're going to take that and add 1/2 inch to it. So you've got your so we've got our 5.5 wide plus 1/2 inch. There we have our 5.5 wide plus 1/2 inch there. So we've got 6 and 6, which is 12. So, and that's it. 9 by 12 is your, wait, no, I'm sorry, 11. God, is that right? 10, 11? No, that's 12, right. And so that's going to be the size of your template. It's going to be 9 inches high and 12 inches wide. Now, why do we add 1/2 inch? Because what happens is, and we work with leather, if you work with a thinner material, that 1/2 inch on each side may be a little bit less, but there's the bend in the leather. So your material is gonna fold and bend around, and that takes up space too. And so that's why we add that. And it takes up about 1/4 inch on each side, and then we have our 1/4 inch border here, like we did for the top and bottom when we added 1/2 inch, had that extra 1/4 inch top and bottom. So your pages are going to fit nicely inside there. And so that's how we do a single section. Now, let's go to a 2-section one. And it's basically the same thing. Let's draw our box again here. There we go. Instead, this time, now if this is our center point, which is the dotted line, we are going to want to draw, and let me get in a little closer here. That's as close as I can get right there. Okay, we are going to want to draw, here, let me show you here. On our 2-section journal, we make this so the 2 signatures here, there's one here and one here, and we make it so these are 3/8 of an inch apart. And so what we want to do is get our center, which is right here. I'll show you on this. This is really easy because I already have it marked. So we're going to get our center point here on the board. We already know this is going to be 9 inches high because it's the height. Our paper height is 8.5, and you just add 1/2 inch to that, and that's 9. So here's our center point. Can you see that striped line I put down there? And we're gonna want to split the 3/8 of an inch into either side of this. And once you've done that, so here, let me show it on here. So we'll split here and here. See that on either side? And this total distance, right from here to here, is 3/8 of an inch. I'll write it here, 3/8. I don't know if you can see that any better. Okay, and then all we do, and this is where we put our holes on this mark here. We'll do that later. But all we'll do then is we will have this 3/8 here, and now we've got our sheet, 5.5 wide, or whatever width your sheet is. We're going to add that to it, plus 1/2. 5.5 plus 1/2. 5.5 plus 1/2. So now we've got 11, 12, and 3/8. So now the overall here is 12 and 3/8. And the overall here, on this one we did, right there, was 12 inches overall, from there to there. Got that? So all we did is we added 3/8 of an inch to put another section in, right? And then that's it. Let's see here. Yes, I hit the record button. Sorry, just now looking at my my chat. Okay, my chat's on a different computer. Okay, now let's do a 3-section journal right here. Okay? For this, I'm going to turn my paper around. my board around. There we go. And grab my marker again. And so, any questions on this so far? Did you see how I got those dimensions on the different ones, on the single and the two-section journal? I can see my chat, so you can pop it in there. There's no record. Yeah, there's no record logo for Zoom. I'm not recording this on Zoom. I'm recording this in some other software. It'll make the recording so much better. That was one of the issues we dealt with in the beginning, was the Zoom had such low quality recordings. Okay, if there are no questions, let's do this. 3-section journal. Okay, so here's our box, right? And we're still using the same 5.5 by 8.5. So this side's going to be 9 inches, because we're adding, again, 8.5 inch size sheet, adding another 1/2 inch, and that equals 9 for the height. Let's draw our center point here. And since we have 3 signatures, so it's our center and then 1 on each side. So that'll be easy. So that's just our center point there. And then 3/8 of an inch to the right, we'll draw another line. And 3/8 of an inch to the left, we'll draw another line. So each of these are 3/8 apart. 3/8 there, 3/8 there. And then we go back and measure our sheet size, which is 5.5, and add 1/2 inch to it. So if you had a 6 by 9 book, this number would be 6, and it'd be 6.5 wide on each side. If you had a 3-inch wide book, or say a 4-inch wide book, it would be 4 plus 1/2. However, whatever the width of your paper is, your sheet size is, add 1/2 inch to it, and that's it. So here, 5.5 plus 1/2. So now we got 6 and 6 are 12, plus 3/8 plus 3/8, which is 3/4. So this is going to be 12 and 3/4. Now, if you want to make something that's 4 signatures, all you got to do is widen the inside by that next signature, 3/8 of an inch. If you want to do 5, then do that. Just you got 2 more lines in here for 5 signatures, right? Find your center point and then space it equally, moving out from the center point, however many signatures you have, and make your signatures 3/8 of an inch wide. Why 3/8 of an inch? Because, let me see here if I can find it. We made a journal that was narrower, that was 1/4 of an inch wide, and I can't find it. It just didn't look very good. So the spacing on these X's here, they look best when they're 3/8 of an inch wide. And that's just trial and error on our part. We tried to make it narrower to make the book more compact. It didn't work. So we went ahead and we made it 3/8 of an inch. And that seems to work the best. So that's it for this part. Let's go back to my pretty face here. And I'll put my headphones on. And let's see if you have any questions. Drop them in the chat or ask them. Everybody get that? All right. Guess I did an okay job explaining it. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so the question was, I'm not using leather, I'm using cardboard. And you said you did 3/8 of an inch wide for the signatures? For the first... Yeah, so all you do is add 3/8 of an inch overall and then center your 2 signatures in the center 3/8 of an inch apart. And that's it. What size was your book? Okay. Okay, so packing paper in the cat litter box. Cool. Unused packing paper, right? Or unused, right, right. So, yeah, so at this point, let me give a plug for Moore and Giles. So we get our leather from Moore and Giles. It's all tanned in Italy in a sixth generation tannery. It is leather that we use, and then we have our own proprietary leather, which is the rustic brown, all full grain, aniline dyed, which is a water-based dye, and warehouse.mooreandgiles.com. I think that link was in the email I sent out this morning. They have half hides for $100, and that includes shipping. So now the next class, we are going to, sorry about that, I hear myself echoing. In the next class, what we're going to do is we're going to take all kinds of materials. I'm going to show you how to take floppy leathers, paper, like in this case, this one, we did paper and leather. So this is a leather lining with papyrus on the outside. We can do paper and fabric, paper and paper. And we're going to show you how to do that and the paste we use for that, because we laminate stuff together. And if your leather happens to be really floppy and you want a firmer cover, but you still want it to be somewhat soft, not like your belt leather, which is stiff. So I'm going to show you how to do that in the next class. So for this one, you've got the recording, you've got the notes you took. Oh, thanks for putting that in, Gina. The link is in the chat to the Moore and Giles website where you can get some leather. And I'm telling you, this leather is going to be anything. It's going to be way better than anything you can get at Tandy. Gather your materials. Figure out what you want to make your next journal out of, or your next 3 journals, because figure out a size, and then you can do the 1, the single, the double, and the triple section journals. And we will work on our covers next week, and then the following week after that, we'll start sewing them up. And I'll teach you the 3 different stitches that we use to sew them up. And so we'll all do this together. But next week, we'll paste them. Now, here's another thing. So as part of this workshop, if you want us to, like, if you noticed here for the papyrus journal, you see how it's all got this serged edge on it. If you do something out of fabric, and it's all fabric or just fabric and leather, but you don't want the fabric to fray on the edges, send it to us. And you can email us first. We'll tell you where to send it, but send it to us. We will serge it for you for free, and then we'll send it back to you. All you got to do is pay for the shipping. So we will use our expertise and our very expensive commercial sewing machines to do that for you, so you have a cool project. And then, 99% of it will still be all your work. Okay, so any other questions? And if not, we can end. Oh, here, let's see here. Any questions come up while working on your projects at home? Oh, yeah, you can, yeah. Please feel free to email us also. Gina put our email address in there, service@innovativejournaling.com. If you have some questions during the week when you're working on your stuff, just email us, let us know, and we're happy to help. You getting the journals made, being independent of having to go out and buy something that you might not like completely, being able to make your own, that's the goal here. All right, anything else? I don't see any questions in chat. Oh, here. If anybody wants to unmute and ask, go ahead. Okay, well, that's it. I'm going to end the recording.